Welcome to the Courage to Live podcast. My name is Josh Bitsko, and I'm a retired police captain with 24 years of experience out of Las Vegas. Currently, I travel the country and I teach people about courage, resilience, and leadership. Joined by my wife and co-host Jenna.
Hi. You remembered me this time.
I did. I remember to introduce you.
Good job.
And today's podcast, we're going to talk about a little bit about technology and how it impacts interpersonal relationships, how it affects our lives, our mental health, our ability for growth. And in the vein of technology, I think it's about time we need to get new cell phones.
I was like, where are you going with this?
Yeah, there's a lot of places I could go
I
with
was like,
that. But yeah, no, you've been politely asking me to update our cell phones for about 6 months now.
well, yeah, because I'm at the 2-year mark, so it doesn't charge anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it does, but
Well, now it will. That's the thing is it re-ups it. But with that being said, I mean, we have like iPhone 12s.
do you really?
No, it's
Oh,
not
I was
them.
like, oh no.
But I do think it's probably about time.
Yeah.
So you don't have to ask me every month. I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, so like next year.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
When I have to just have a portable charger on my phone at all times.
Well, we're pretty much there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the thing we wanted to talk about today is I think, and I've kind of touched even in our media episode, how, social media and technology has really impacted how we consume things as far as like, knowledge and learning. And even on one of my short podcasts, I talked about, that quick dopamine dump that you get from even social media and how there is a relationship between addiction and dopamine that you don't have to work for. Meaning like, you go out and you work out and you feel good after, but you had to put work in after it. So there's a feeling of pride there and that you have to put in work. Or reading a book as opposed to doom scrolling. You read a book and it takes a long time to get through a book. So there's that sense of achievement while consuming something that entertains you.
How about reading a classic?
Yeah, are you reading a classic right now?
I am. Well, because of the movie, I decided I should read Wuthering Heights, and it took me a minute to transition my brain from like the potato chips that I normally read,
Yeah.
like mystery thrillers,
Yeah.
into classic literature. I've read classics before, but it just has been a long time. So I'm feeling very accomplished
Yeah.
working my way through this book. But
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was talking about. There's a
yeah,
sense of pride to that dopamine you get from that sense of accomplishment as compared to having a drink or doom scrolling or even just watching a TV show. I mean, yeah, it went from having to wait all day for your favorite show to come on to now you can stream whatever, whenever.
not even all day. Like, remember when you'd have to wait once a week?
Yeah, because
Like
there was 4 channels.
yeah, I remember in college, Law and Order came out. The new episodes came out on Sunday, and so like I had to wait till Sunday at 7 or 8 p.m.
Yeah.
to watch the new episode of Law and Order. And our our kids have no clue what that's like.
No, and there's that shift to that immediate gratification, and I think that has transferred to even interpersonal relationships. And it comes down to why go out, make plans, get dressed, like do all the things to go meet with somebody when you can just text them
Mm-hmm.
or, even FaceTiming, which is probably a little better because at least you're face to face. But I think so many times those relationships now have been replaced. But I think there's an issue because, well, for a couple reasons on text. First off, all your responses are like curated, right? You have time to think about it. It's not like
You could even
com-
ask Chat GPT to write a text
yeah,
for you if you wanted,
exactly. Except there'll be an EM dash in it and
and it'll use the word quietly
quietly.
or fluff.
That's not connection. It's this or
Mm-hmm.
whatever that chat comes out with. But yeah, I mean, so you have time to curate your responses, and it lacks a depth of real interpersonal connection.
I saw on there's a page on Instagram I follow, Mo News. He is, I would say, at least the most unbiased news reporter that I can find. He's an independent journalist, but I feel like he truly does try to stay unbiased. But he was doing an interview about a month ago with a woman, and she was talking about how we're so accustomed now to she called it a frictionless lifestyle. So, there's been this big push in society and culture, and I think because of social media, to cancel plans or like be so excited when your friends cancel plans because you get to sit home and do nothing. And she was talking about how we as human beings, we are built for connection. And so as technology progresses and we become more and more isolated, we're shifting as a culture to be okay and to want that, but as a human being, we're not built for that. We're built for connection, and that's how we add value to the world, and that's how we feel value ourselves. And I it's something that I've thought a lot about, especially because we now work from home, and so there's not I don't have an office setting to go into anymore. I don't have connection like that with human beings because normally that's who you connect with is the people that you work with, right? And so I don't have that anymore. I have you and our kids and
Louis the dog.
yeah, and Louis. It's a terror. He's not. You see baby Punch, the little monkey all over the internet? He's so cute. Louis not Punch. He's cute, but he's a liar.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you have it's like we're so isolated now with remote work, with COVID having changed the entire world, with it's just I feel that in my soul. Like I feel so isolated. And so this frictionless lifestyle that is such a part of our culture now, I can feel its debilitating effects on me personally.
Well, yeah, there's no water cooler talk, right? Like there's no, how many times when I was at work, I was like, okay, I worked for an hour and a half. Even when I was a captain, I'm going to go in and bug my lieutenants and just
Mhm.
BS with them. And that has been removed. And then you replace it with, oh, I'm just going to text my friends. But again, it's just like, it's just not as deep. Um, and what I mean by that, how many times do you type LOL, but you don't actually LOL?
I think that's a millennial thing too.
Yeah.
It's just like part of our vernacular.
Yeah.
But yes.
But then compared to, we had a situation where we were traveling for work and we had a group with us and we had a couple hours where I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. And we
Mm-hmm.
were just cracking up and having a great time. And so that it's just, there's not as much depth in communication, meaning the positives aren't as positive. The negatives are easier. And we'll get into that, how you can have, it's easier to have a negative and have conflict over text because everything is like getting curated, like you take the time to do it. But, you know, yes, working from home, how many times am I like, hey, we need to get out of this house? Like I've been in this house for 3 days straight,
Yeah.
other than driving kids places, and I don't care if it's a coffee shop or what, but
See,
we have
that's
to.
a problem. Now I'm used to it. It feels weird putting makeup on.
Yeah, like I don't want to put on pants, so
Yeah.
we're gonna stay in this house.
Mm-hmm.
And we even have a home gym, so
Right.
we even work out at home. It's like everything that we do or need that we have here.
Mm-hmm.
We even order groceries to the
Oh my
house.
gosh, stop. You need to stop it right now.
Like,
Not all of
not
them.
all of them. We go to
We do go
Costco.
on Sundays to the store.
Yes. But all that to be said, like that technology has replaced a lot of that interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think it dumbs down or numbs the experiences in the positive and in the negative, and it really makes it more difficult, I think, because like you said, humans crave that. We crave that connection. And yes, I love you. You're my, my person, you're my spouse. But also we crave friendships too. And I mean, you have a friend that you meet once a month for lunch.
Yes. So she's been my best friend for 26, 27 years. I don't know how long. It's up there though, most of our lives. And we live on opposite sides of town, but we make it a point, and we've done this for the last 2 years, to one of us text each other during, the month. Okay, what day are we meeting up this month? We if we have to move around appointments, like we don't cancel on each other. We make it happen like that. We go and we go we go to the same restaurant, literally order the same thing. We have a couple cocktails. We spend about 3 hours. We catch up for the month. And again, I'm a big proponent of therapy, but we call that our therapy. Like that is our time. She is very involved in her kids' school and PTA. And so she has, connections outside, but like that is our time to like connect as friends and humans. And it's just something that we both prioritized and made important. And I honestly could not tell you the last time one of us cancels. We don't cancel. We move it if we have to, but we really try to like make that happen. And that was something else in the interview that I was watching was um the woman that Mo News was interviewing was saying that she has a policy for herself that if she makes plans with a friend, she does not cancel unless she's sick. And I I really like that because again it forces you to prioritize in-person connection. And I have been guilty myself of canceling plans just because I didn't feel like going, but like I I ever since she said that, I I have not I've made it a point to not cancel plans because I'm realizing the longer this goes on, the importance for myself that I do need that connection in person.
Yeah, and why I wonder I've thought about like you and your friend that you guys meet up once a month. I also wonder you guys also don't text a ton. It's not like the daily updates or anything like that. And I wonder if that makes when you do meet up, you have so much to share, and it
We
makes
yeah,
that deeper.
we do. And I think too like taking the time to build that kind of connection with somebody. I mean, it's hard in adult life. So like she and I have been friends since we were 13 years old. So we've gone through all aspects of life: birth, death, marriage, divorce. I mean, anything that you can possibly imagine, we have gone through and been through the ebbs and flows of life together. So it's also, I think that's what has kept us friends for so long is continuing to make sure that connection's a priority. It's not every day. It's not like you said, we don't text a whole lot. I could text her anytime I needed her. Same. We call when we need each other. That's not an issue, but I do think that you're right. I think the not being in constant contact with each other does we fill up 3 hours and we could fill up three more. Um, so I I am sure there's other people out there that are feeling that kind of tech loneliness, I guess is a good way to put it. Frictionless lifestyle. I mean, think about like even dating now. It's so normalized to just ghost people.
Yeah. Well, and that's also easier, right?
Well,
You're
yeah,
just gonna stop talking to them, block them, whatever.
right.
Well, and that leads into the next side of it is when you have hard conversations and when you have conflict with somebody in person, it feels a lot different than text. It doesn't mean you when you send that text, you don't have that reaction, right? But
Mm-hmm.
um, how many times, how many negative interaction I can tell you, even when I was working at the police department, I would get text messages of telling me something bad that happened rather than a phone call. I would just usually then call them and
Yeah.
like, let's have a conversation about this rather than a text. But I think we become more reliant on it. We become
Well, you
in a
don't have to see somebody's facial reaction, right? You don't
Mhm.
have to hear their voice where whether they're disappointed or sad or whatever you're trying to say in a text message that's, where there's conflict.
Well, yeah,
So
and
it takes it takes a lot of the um uneasiness and uncomfortableness out of it.
well, and then also, like we said earlier, you also get to prepare your responses.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of the
You can have
emotion
a
out of it.
robot write it.
Yes, yes. Um, I've never gone there. I've had chat review emails before, but
Yeah.
I've not gone to text messages. That seems like a little extreme.
Well, we
But
knew somebody that was dating, and the guy's text messages to her were truly using the word austere in real life. Like
yeah,
maybe, but I doubt it.
yeah.
So that was a little wild to read these text messages and be like, wow, that is a robot writing that to you right now.
For sure. Um, but yeah, you have a chance to, curate your responses to make sure everything's carefully said. And maybe, at some point that makes taking some of the emotion out of the conflict can make you get to the root of the issue a little easier.
Maybe.
But at the same time, it makes us less comfortable being uncomfortable. And then it gives us less of a capacity for being uncomfortable. So then when it does happen, you're not as used to it, or you
Yeah, and then
avoid
it
it.
becomes earth shattering,
Hmm.
right? You can't handle any kind of conflict. You can't handle, you get social anxiety being out in person with people because you've been so isolated for so long and used technology, text messages, whatever to handle conflict that or even just handle relationships that it's really difficult to know how to do that in person.
Yeah.
I mean, and that makes me worry for our kids, to be quite honest. Like
Hmm.
how, because most of their interpersonal personal relationships are happening over, we don't allow our kids to have social media, but it's happening over text. So,
Well, and it's funny because I have noticed with kids, once you give them a cell phone and then they get used to texting, it's almost like the personality is different on text than it is in person.
yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed
Hmm.
that with our kids, but they'll say like some really funny stuff on text, but then in person, it's not. I don't know. It's just different. Or then,
Well, see, I think it depends on the kid
yeah,
because some of our kids are way more funny in person than
yeah,
on a text.
yeah, yeah. Well, the dry humor doesn't always translate to
Yeah.
text, but I just always thought that was interesting, and we'll see in the next 10, 15 years how that goes as far as interpersonal relationships, because even though society is moving more towards this technological like reliance, since COVID, you're seeing less and less remote work.
Yeah.
Like everybody was remote for a long time. And then now they prefer only to be remote. But you see this shift back into offices, and you have a generation of kids getting into the workforce that don't have that skill because everything's been over. It's COVID. They even didn't go to school for a couple of years, and then they're now all their communications and friendships all over text, and we're going to throw them into the workforce and
Yeah.
see how that happens.
Hmm.
And it'll be challenging for leaders,
Yeah.
and it's going to get more challenging because of that,
Yeah.
right? And it's always been that way. I remember my first night as a sergeant, like literally first night. I had a guy make an arrest. I was reviewing reports, and it was not a good arrest. Like it was. So you can fix that. Call, let him out of jail, notify risk management, and everything you have to do. So this guy was just out of field training. So I called him in my office. I'm like, hey, and I was nice about it. I'm like, hey, this arrest isn't valid. Like it's not a good arrest. There wasn't probable cause. So I need you to go pull up policy because I don't remember all the steps, but you're going to go through the steps to get him released, and then I'll do my part as a sergeant, and we'll deal with it. He started crying,
Oh.
well, I was not yelling, I was not anything, and this is a grown man who is receiving just a little bit of conflict,
Hmm.
and I remember thinking, oh, he's going to struggle in this job. So I don't think there's so much generational leadership and how to manage different generations, and I mean, yeah, to a point, maybe, the slider scale moves to more adverse to conflict and less, but it's always been there. I just wonder how technology is going to change that and challenge our leaders to be able to manage conflict, manage hard conversations, manage relationships between people. Because I've had jobs where I had to manage 10 people that didn't get along, and now they're all going to be in one space when they're not used to it. And I wonder what those conflicts are going to look like.
They're not because the robots are going to take over. They're going to kill us all.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
won't
The,
even be around to see
the
it.
those videos of the like
It's so
robots
creepy.
dancing and running around.
I don't like it.
I think it's cool. I, for
Okay.
one, welcome our robot overlords if they're going to do the laundry and load the
Yeah.
dishwasher.
Till they're standing above you in your sleep, about to strangle you to death.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
What
a
a way to go.
it's a small risk to take to not have to do laundry.
Mm-hmm.
I like to cook, but the rest let the robots do.
Yeah.
Clean up my mess.
Mm. Well, we digress.
Yeah, I know, right? We really went off the
My
rails.
bad.
Went off the rails on this one.
Um, so how can we mitigate this? And honestly, the answer is so obvious, and the only one is for me, I'm taking this lady's advice. I should have looked up her name before. I just remember the interview because it was very impactful to me. So I should have looked up her name, but it's on Mo News. It was at the end of January. Um, I have taken her advice, not cancel plans. If I make them, I'm gonna be there unless I'm sick. And so that and um I truly think that's really the only way to mitigate it. I've seen a lot more people now getting the bricks for their phones.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm almost at that point. Like, I think truly getting back to connecting with other human beings, connecting with your spouse, not sitting on the phone scrolling during commercials, which I am guilty of.
I will say though,
We try not to.
well, during commercials. Yeah, I think we're both guilty of that. But when we're watching something,
Yeah,
whether it's a
we don't do that.
sporting event, MMA, whatever, I think we're pretty good at
We are.
not being on our phones,
Yes.
except when it's a commercial. Then
Yes. But
we can always be better.
yes, not canceling plans, not leaning more into a not a frictionless lifestyle where we're just isolating ourselves and canceling plans and just relying on technology, but getting out and connecting with other humans, which is I'm also finding in this new world of mine is really hard as an adult. It is hard to make friends as an adult, especially when you work from home.
Yeah. Where are you gonna do that?
I don't know. I haven't figured out yet. I don't even go to the gym. I go in our garage.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
which is also amazing, by the way, to have a home gym to
Yes,
just like
I
roll
agree.
out of bed and walk down and just work out.
I agree. I wouldn't change it. But
It's a great investment. But yes, I mean, where are you going to meet people?
well, do you want to hear a really sad story? I mean, already know the story, but for our listeners, I found a book club here in Las Vegas. Josh is laughing. Um, and so I reached out to them to see if I could join the book club, and they told me no.
Got rejected.
I did. So that was the last time I attempted trying to make some kind of connections as an adult outside of my home, but maybe there's something else.
Imagine being the mean girls of the book club.
I was shocked. Like,
Seats taken.
yeah, you can't sit with us on Wednesdays where you wear pink. So that did make me a little bit sad.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
But I mean, you think about it, like really our adult interaction is when we sneak away when we're shopping to BJ's and have lunch and maybe a cocktail or two.
I was gonna say the regulars at BJ's we are friends with. However, they are all in a different phase of life. They are well in their 60s.
Yeah.
So
We have the couple that brings us hot sauce
they do, yes.
every time.
Yeah. Nice.
Which is
Nice.
nice. Weird, but nice.
Appreciate them.
But yeah, no, it is very difficult to make friends as an adult.
I think that's the important part is to continue to try to have that connection in person and not lean into avoiding plans, avoiding people, avoiding, right?
Yeah, no, and also if you have to have conflict or a hard conversation, don't do it over texts.
Yeah.
Try and have a phone conversation.
Yeah.
I think that helps too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think that not all hope is lost. We're not ready for our robot overlords to take over.
Yeah.
Unless they're doing my laundry, and then that would be great.
Good. This
Okay.
is our fourth podcast of today because we tried to record in chunks and we've been at this for like, I don't know, 6 hours now.
Yeah.
So sorry this one went off the rails, guys.
Oh, I thought it was great.
Yeah, good
You're
job.
gonna love it. Well, thank you for listening. If you like this podcast, share it with a friend. Subscribe, leave a review. And this topic is not in my book.
No.
I don't talk about AI or robots in my book. But if you would like to,
Probably would have
because
sold better if
you
you did.
probably, I probably would. My sales would be way up. But it's still available. Appreciate it if you could check it out on Amazon, The Courage to Live. And I appreciate you spending time with us today.